Hi there, Manuel here, and today I want to talk about retail traders. I actually want to talk about what is a retail trader and sort of the difference between a retail trader and what we do, which is called smart money. It's kind of smart money trading. We trade, or we try to identify what the banks are doing and then ride the coattails of the banks, So, in essence though, let's be honest, we are all retail traders. The only people that have enough money to move a market, to actually force a market to move in whichever direction they want it to move, are banks or super rich traders. Like, I don't know, Elon Musk or Warren Buffett, those sort of people that can put millions into a market and make it move in the direction they want to. Most of us know we've got to kind of just follow hopefully we guess it right, and we follow the direction that the market's already moving in. That's more what a retail trader does. It's more of a small trader, I mean, to get a market to do this sort of a move, this big move down like that, that's banks pushing money into that, selling the price off, or like I said, a really, really rich trader. That's millions. This is millions and millions of dollars being pumped into this to push this price down. Your everyday trader isn't going to have that. Your everyday trader is trading in, I don't know, £10 a point, maybe $10 a point, maybe $50 a point. They're not trading in $2 million or $3 million a point, So that's big. That's retail. I mean, that's banks doing stuff like that. But a retail trader, so the definition for me of a retail trader, it's usually a person that follows certain patterns. And I'm going to show you all the patterns that you're usually taught when you first come into this. It's usually also a person that stays on one time frame. I'm going to tell you about myself when I first got into trading, and I done a course with my sister that actually cost me a lot of money. It actually ended up costing us £30,000, which is $40,000, and it taught us all these patterns. I'll show you the patterns in a second. And, and that's what most people do when they get involved in this. So a retail trader follows all these patterns. They trade off all these patterns, support resistance, highs and low, double tops, double bottoms, all this sort of stuff, consolidation, like that, this sort of stuff. When it next touches the tops, you sell, or when it touches the bottom, you buy, all these sorts of things. And they usually stay on one time frame. Like we were taught to trade off the daily time frame, and we were what we call position trading. So we'll get a trade, and you'd probably hold it. You'd hold it for a week, 2 to 3 weeks. And another thing with a retail trader is your risk to rewards are usually quite small. What we were taught, say, for example, we were taught, like, say, let me just put this on here. Say I was going to sell this. So short position. So I was going to sell this. Say this something like that. So I was going to sell there. My stop loss would be there. So that's the amount. And I would want it to go to there, something like that. But I'd be waiting, I don't know, a week, maybe 2 weeks if I'm lucky to get a 1 to 3. Yeah. So you can see, I'm not saying it doesn't work. You can see it's quite slow. Now, and usually they only stay on one time frame, And another thing with a retail trader, usually they don't spend any time at all on their mindset. When they get a trade, they live or die by each and every trade. So they get a trade right, and they're kind of doing the dance, and they're like, yes, I'm a trader. I'm going to make my Lamborghini. I'm ready. I'm going to buy my house. I'm going to go and live in Miami or whatever it is. And when they lose a trade, they're like, oh my God, I'm not getting it right. Where am I going wrong? Where am I going wrong? They spend zero time on their mindset. There's zero time thinking that, it's a long-term strategy thing. It's not win one trade and you become a millionaire sort of thing. So you need to also spend time on your mindset, which most retail traders don't. They live and die by their trades. And when they get a few trades wrong, they're either thinking, right, I'm ready to give this up, or they're looking for the next program, the next person over there that told them that they win all of their trades. So that's really my definition of a retail trader. They usually stay on one time frame. I'm going to move this to 4 hour. They usually stay on one time frame. They trade off these certain patterns I'm going to show you, and they spend zero time on their mindset. So when you get into trading, really as a retail trader, you're usually given all these patterns here. Let me go through all of them. So here we go. We've got, oh, that's too big. There we go. We've got the double tops. You know, something like that. I don't know if I can show you on the chart, but say it would be something along this lines. There, something 1, sort of 2, this kind of there. It's not as equal as it is on this chart, but something along those lines. Head and shoulders. Yeah, so that's what you say. Head and shoulders. You buy on this line, what they call the neckline. Rising wedge or flag, sometimes it's called. Price tightens up, and then you expect price to go down. Double. Let's go. Double bottoms, just like the double tops. Again, hits double times, comes up. Head and shoulders the other way. Falling wedge. Flag going down, expecting price to go up. Continuation patterns. These wedges again. Goes down, goes up. Bullish patterns. Head and shoulder, you know, like this pattern I showed you on the chart. This one is very, very clear this time. This here. Bum, 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 bum. In that, expecting it to blast out one way. With this one, you know, they say it's come up, goes sideways, and then continues up. Bullish pennant. All this sort of stuff. Wedges, pennants, descending triangles, all this sort of stuff. These are the patterns that you're going to go. You go onto the chart, you look for these patterns, and as well as that, you usually, as a retail trader, also have indicators. Let me show you my other charts. This is what the charts look like when I used to trade. You have this and all the, I mean, you can barely see the price here. It's just so messy, do you know? And it's just horrible to look at. Do you know what I mean? And usually with indicators, here's the thing. Indicators are usually lagging. So what that means is that once the price has already moved and the indicator is telling you, yeah, get ready now because it's about to move, but it's gone. The price is already gone. It's too late. It's all gone. Yeah. So, you know, that's another thing about retail trading, you know? So, but does it work? Does retail trading work? Well, yeah, of course it has to. Think of a casino. Imagine you went into a casino and every single time you went into the casino, you lost. Eventually you wouldn't go. But here's the thing. What they say is they have to give you 1 win out of 6. 1 win out of 6 is enough to keep you going, to keep you in the game. You know, that's even in gambling as well. Roulette, all of this sort of stuff. You need 1 win out of 6. So you could lose 5 of your trades, and as long as you get 1, even if it's a small win that doesn't cancel out all your losses, that's enough to keep the juices going, to keep you getting back on and continuing to lose your money. You know? And another thing is that 1 win is usually quite a small win compared to all the losses that you have. Do you know what I mean? Because like I said, I mean, like I showed you, 1 to 3 would have to be waiting 2 weeks to do that. You know, when you start to learn this stuff properly and start to see things like I've showed you in my other videos, and you start to see the way that the banks trade because they have to leave a footprint, and then you start to follow the bank. So you become what we call, you know, a smart money trader. And you catch moves like this. This is a 1-2. I don't even know what this is. 1-2. Let's see if we caught this move. Let me just have a quick look here and let me show you. Short position. Yeah. Just imagine we caught this move here. So now instead of catching a 1 to 3, if we caught even just up to there, that's a 1 to 8, and that happened in, this is 4 hours. This happened in less than 2 days. Yeah, so you can see the difference. When you start to see the smart money concepts and start to understand them, you start to see the difference, and you can start to kind of make these risk to rewards. This is like what I'm saying. The people that I trade with, some of them make 1 to 5, you know, 10% in a day. Some 1 to 10, some 1 to 40 in a day in one trade, risking 2% of your account to make these sorts of returns. Do you know what I mean? And they're not over leveraging. What by that I mean they're not like risking tons and tons of their money, all this sort of money there to make these little moves. 2% of the account. But if you catch it at the right place and you know what you're doing with smart money concepts, you can make these sorts of returns, you know. So I hope you understand the difference then. The difference between the retail trader who stays on one time frame, usually as well, you know, with smart money, you fish about, you go to different time frames, you try and find the best looking candles, the best looking, you know, moves that gives you the most risk to reward. Another thing, they use tons of indicators. You know, they put indicators all over the charts. Sometimes you can't even see the price action. Smart money, a lot of the time, it's just raw trading. You can see the patterns, you know, it's the directions that the banks are taking things. You know, another thing, they spend zero time on their mindset. It's very, very important. In fact, 90% of the best traders in the world, it's not even about their strategy. It's about their mindset. It's about knowing. They know, even when they have a loser, it doesn't matter. Even if they have the winner, they're not like, suddenly thinking about the Lamborghinis they're going to buy, Same emotions. They're almost like robotic traders. And in fact, when you get really, really good at trading, it's actually quite boring, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? You don't get the buzzers. You don't get the highs and the lows, that a retail trader does, So anyway, listen, I hope you got some value from this. I hope this helped you, a little bit. If you do want to see the exact way that we trade to get these sorts of risk to rewards, to do smart money trading and follow the coattails of the banks with the banker's strategy, then I am going to be offering you a free week where you can train with us completely for free. It starts on Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 5 o'clock GMT UK time. It's completely for free. All you need to do, if you're interested in that, you hit the link below. Once you've opted in, you'll get everything you need to start you on next week's training. It's a Facebook group. It's a it's a private Facebook group. So you need to opt in, and then I'll give you all of the details. And then, you can just come and have a look. It's completely for free. We're not going to ask you for no credit cards or anything. You see if it's for you. You get a whole week to actually look at it and think, is this for me or not? And if it is for you, you can continue on. If not, you're going to learn some gems in that week anyway, But anyway, listen, I hope you got some value from this. If you did, take a second to give it a thumbs up. Also share it with anyone you think might get value from it as well. If you got questions, please just leave it in the comments box below. Alright, again, thanks for listening. Till next time, take care. I'll speak to you soon. All the best.